Welcome back to the channel. Now we are going to see regarding the concept of exception handling in Python. Generally, in any programming language, exception is defined as a fault or error. So error may be a two types of errors. It may be a human-made errors or syntax errors or runtime errors. So human-made errors means which are the errors which are made by us while writing the program by knowingly or unknowingly. Syntax errors means for each and every programming language there is a proper syntax which is predefined. We have to write the program in such type. So if we are failed to write in such manner, it will becomes under the syntax errors. Syntax errors will be known while we are compiling the program. And coming to the runtime errors, these are the errors which we doesn't know to us, whether it may be error or not. The program code will be correct, but running the program we will get some type of errors. Such type of errors known as a runtime errors. So here we can see the syntax errors here x is equal to 10 defining. So in here the way of defining is not in a proper format, so that's why it treated as a syntax errors. Example 2, here we are printing hello just, but we are not treated properly. Here we are missing a parenthesis for a print. So such type of things are called as a syntax errors. Means these are the rules we have to follow to print the such type of things. We are not following the rules. Such type of errors are called as a syntax errors. So next, runtime errors means the code is perfect from our side, but from coming to the compiler or interpreter point of view, it is wrong. For example, if you are asking to um, give 10 by 0 division operation, so 10 by 0 is not possible division. So that type of errors are called as a runtime errors. So here if you are asking print 10 by 10, here it is in this situation you can see print 10 by 10. 10 by 10 is treated as here 10 is a integer number, and as well as here 10 is a uh, characters. So we cannot do division operation with the help of characters, right? So that's why it is called as a error, runtime error. So you cannot divide with a string, right? We can divide with a number by number. So here if you are running that particular program, you are going to get an error called invalid. Why? Because you are dividing number with characters or string. So that's why it is not possible. So coming to the exception, exception means it is a type of unwanted event which is happening, or unwanted disturbances which is happening in the program. So the different types of exceptions like zero division error, true error, value error, file not found error, end of the file error, sleeping error, type punched error. Out of these different types of exceptions, the majorly what we can see is zero division error exception, type error exception, value error exception, file not found exception, end of the file error exception. These are the different exceptions which we can see a lot in all the programs. So let's see an example how to run different types of programs and how to raise the errors and all these things. So here in this situation we are going to know different types of blocks in a code. Like in similar to Java programming, you are going to have try, catch, throw, throws. Finally, these are different blocks we are having. So by using these blocks we are going to run the different programs. So now let's see what try block does, what throw block does, what finally does, and all these things with the definitions. So here if you observe the program, here we are defined as a print hello. So that particular statement will be printed as it is. So in a second line you can see print 10 by 0. So as in the previous I already told 10 by 0 is an exception. We cannot divide a value with 0, so it is an exception. So second line we are having an exception, so the execution of the program stops in the line number 2. It is not going to print line number 3 whatever we are having. So to overcome the problem of exception, what we can do is we have to raise exception by ourselves. If we raise by exception by ourselves, so it skips the, if the line number 2 is mistake means it skips line number 2 and it's going to print next line. So in this particular program we have missed the line number 3, even though the syntax is correct in line number 3, we have missed that. So to overcome the corrected one on all these things, we are going to raise the error by exception by ourselves. So now let us see how to raise an exception and all the things by ourselves. So these are the different types of exceptions. So exception can be treated as a exception, system exit, generation exit, keyboard integer, arithmetic exit, end of the file exit, name error, look space. These are the general tree structure of the exception handling and all these things. Generally exceptions will be mainly in the mathematical part. So now let us see different types of blocks of writing the code and executing. The different blocks is try block, catch block, throws block, finally block, and all these things. So here we let us see a statement. Here let us see the example. Print STMT1. Okay, statement 1. Okay, already you are going to print statement 1. Okay, next print 10 by 0. So that particular statement will not be printed because 10 by 0, the number divided by 0 is an exception. It is an error. It is not going to perform the line number 2 operation. So if line number 2 operation is not performed, so that is why the program is already came out from the loop. The whatever the thing we are having in the next line, it is not going to execute. So even though you have written line number 3 correctly, it is not going to execute that particular code. Okay, so to overcome such type of things, now let us see the things what we are going to do. So here you can see print statement 1. Okay, statement 1 you are going to get. Here I have written a statement called try print 10 by 0. So it is going to try the thing whatever we have given. Okay, so if the operation is not possible, print 10 by 0, this operation is not possible, it is going to raise an error called zero division error. Okay, it is going to print an error called zero division error. So after this, in a line number 5 we are having 10 by 2. That operation will be performed. We are going to get a value called 5.5. Next, in line number 6 we are going to have print statement 3. You are going to get stmt3. So by defining except by defining exception, what we have defined in this line number 4, by defining exception by ourselves, then automatically we are going to get complete program without skipping. If you compare the previous program, it is stopped printing in line number 2, but here in this case, even though the line number 3 is wrong, it does not skip the program which is having a line number 5. So in this manner we can overcome the program whichever is even correct and all these things. So here you can see try block. Whatever the statements we have written in a try block, we can write multiple number of statements in a try block. Except means whatever the statement you are accepting, can write in except block. Statement means this is the general syntax. Now let us see the program. Here you can see print 10 by 0. That printing is not possible, so automatically you are going to get zero division error message. Next, print exception raised in description is message, means what exception this one, zero division by 0 is not possible, so that is the message you are going to get. See, you can see in a line number 5 output exception rise, and its description is, what is the description, division by 0. Here division by 0 is not possible, so that is what the output I have got in line number 5. So this is a one more example. So here I am taking a try block. Here x is equal int input of enter first number. So I am taking a x value of type integer type, and I have to give an input value. So next y is equal int input of enter second value. So here I have to take two integer values only. Data type integer only. So next print x by y. So I am going to print the value. Next except zero division error, means if you are giving x value as 10 and y value as 0, automatically you are going to raise an error in a line number 5. Okay, and you are going to get an output in the sixth line, whatever I have defined here, can't divide with 0. For example, if you give x value 8 and y value as 2, automatically you are going to get the output which I have written in the 8th line, print please provide a integer value only, like that. If you have not given a proper data type, like if you given a 2 and 5 and 8.0, so you are giving a float values 8.3 8.5, so automatically then you are going to get 8th line output. So this is an output which you are going to get. Enter first value 10, I have entered. Enter second value 2, I have entered. Automatically you are going to get 5. It is of course fine. Next, this is an output second case. Enter first value 10, enter second value 0. You are going to get output can't divide with 0. Next case, enter first value 10, enter second value 10. You have entered here alphabetic manner, right? You have entered a string, so division with string is not possible. So in this case, it is going to give a value called please provide integer values only with uh, please provide integer values only. If you have given a character or string, how the division is possible? So it is not possible, so it has given a like that. So this is one more example. So here x is equal to int input of enter first number, y is equal to int input of enter second number. So print x by y. So if you have given x is equal to 2, y is equal to 0, so automatically it is going to print a statement which is going to have in line number 6. It is an arithmetic error. So if you are given misproper values, then it is going to get proper values. If you are giving correct values, then it is going to give. If you are giving x value as 10, if you are giving y value as 0, then you are going to get output as line number 6 arithmetic error, and as well as line number 8 also 0 division error. So if you are given x value as 10 and y value as 8, automatically you are going to get the result. This case is possible. So here in this is the program defining that if you are having a multiple number of blocks, so how to execute. So here I am taking try block. Here I am defining x is equal to int input of enter first number. I am going to enter first number. Y is equal to int input of enter second number. I am taking a second number. Next print x by y. So if x value is 10 and y value is 0, so it is an error, right? So here I am giving 0 division error, value error. So here I am giving multiple exceptions in a single exception only. I am not giving multiple exception statements. I am defining all exception statements in a single exception, which I have declared in line number 5. So whatever the exceptions I want to raise, I am going to raise all the exceptions in line number 5, and I am giving all the exception in the form of message. So in line number 6, I am going to give whatever the statements I have given, it is going to show please provide a proper values, or please provide a proper numbers, and all these things. So I am going, based on that, it is going to execute the program. So default execution block, this is the, here we can use a default block to handle any type of exceptions. So, either it is an input output exception, file handling exception, 0 division error exception, what type of exception you are going to have. Default exception block is going to carry anything, any type of statements. So this is one more example. Try block. Here I have given x value and y value. Here I am printing x by y. If it is x by y, you have given y value as 0, the division is not possible. If you are giving x value or y value as a string or character, even though the division is not possible, so it is going to give errors if you are giving mismatched data types. So this is what the program. If you are giving x value and y value as a normal numbers like 4, 6, 8, 10, division is possible. Or if you are giving like 4x, 5y, it is not possible. So this is one more example. Try block. Here I am taking print 10 by 0. Here I am directly I am giving the program itself print 10 by 0. Definitely it is an mistake. So I am going to get default exception. Next, accept 0 division error. This is an error, right? So I am going to get 0 division error. Here the meaning of the finally block is, here we are having a try block, catch block, throws block, final block. So whatever the statement you are declaring in final block, the statement will be, definitely it is mandated to print the whatever the statement you have written in final block, right? Whatever the statement you have written in final block, it is mandatory to print. We should not skip that final block print statement. Even though the try block you may skip, or catch block it may skip, or anything it may happen, we can define a multiple number of try blocks in the program, right? But you have to define a catch block not limitedly, but final block whatever you have declared, it should print mandatorily. So let us see how to use try block, catch block, final block as an example. So here you can see try, print try, okay, accept, print accept, final, print final. Here try, it is going to print try. If try block fails, it is going to go for accept block. If accept, here try block has passed, so it is here got a statement called try, so it is going to skip the line number 3. Directly it is going to come for the line number 5 in a finally means the final keyword itself defines that whatever the statement we are having in that, definitely it should print. So that is why I got a value called finally. This is one more example. Try block I have defined. Try block I have written a print statement called try, and I have written a statement called 10 by 0. In next, exception 0 division error, it is 10 by 0 is not possible, so 0 division error, print accept, print final. So I am going to get outputs called try, accept, final. why it has moved our program from line number 4 to line number 3 to line number 4, 5, 6? Because here in line number 4 I am telling it is an exception. If you did not define it is an exception, our program execution is going to stop in line number 3 itself. It is not going to move further. So this is the next case. Try block I have defined. Print try. Next print 10 by 0. Here it is going to print try. Okay. Print 10 by 0. It is not possible. It is going to stop. Except name error. Next final. Print final means it is going to print final. And it is also going to print called 10 by 0 is a name error, and it is an arithmetic exception. So it is going to print it. It is in this case line number 2 was terminated. That particular statement was execution was terminated from the program. I am going to get that particular output. These are all the same programs defining how we can print a multiple statements like this. Here the nested statements defines that defining one statement inside another statement called nested statements. Like we can define one statement inside another statement. Here you have defined try. In try you have defined another try inside the try. Here you have defined except. In except block you have defined another except, means a loop inside the loop. That is called a nested loop. So this is an example of nested block. Let us see. Here try block I have defined. I have written outer try block. In try block again I have written another try block in line number 3. It is an inner try block. Next in line number 5 I have defined print 10 by 0. In line number 6 I have defined 0 division error. In line number 7 I have defined inner except block. Line number 8 I have defined finally. Means what is the meaning of finally? Whatever the statement you may print or you may not print. But whatever the statement I have written in line number 5, it should print mandatory. Why? Because I have defined final keyword. In line number 10, it is not mandatory to print. Why? Because it is defined in except block. But in line number 12, it is mandatory to print. Why? Because it is defined in final block. You can see the outputs here. Outer try block, inner try block, and inner except block, inner final block. So in this complete program, in two places you have used final keyword in line number 8 and line number 12. The two outputs are definitely you should print. You should not skip those statements. So the general rules, what are the rules you have to follow for using try, catch, throws finally means first of all, while we are writing a try block, we should know when we are going to use the except block, final block. That is the first thing. When we are writing a except block, it is mandatory to write try block. Without writing try block, you should not write except keyword. And the next third one, whenever you are writing a final block, you should remember that that particular statement will be printed. It is not vomited. That particular statement will not be vomited out from the code. It will be mandatorily printed. So here, rule number 4, we can write multiple blocks, like multiple try blocks you can write, or multiple final blocks. Here you can write multiple try blocks, and you can write multiple catch blocks also, but you should not define multiple number of final blocks. Final blocks should be defined in a limited manner. And next one is, while writing a block of code, you should define else block. Means you definitely have to write if block also. If you have to define if block means, then you have to write else. You have to write the code in a structure like if else final. It is fine. Here coming to the type of exceptions, there are two types of exceptions already we have defined, that is predefined exception and user defined exception. Predefined exceptions means this is a type of errors which are already defined, like 10 by 0 means a 0 division exception. It is a predefined exception. And user defined exceptions means while writing the code we are defining an error, means knowingly or unknowingly. Those type of exceptions are called user defined exceptions, like calculation mismatching, or missing semicolon, or missing double space, or missing logic in the code, and all the type of things are called as user defined exceptions. So here this is a general code. By defining user defined exceptions and all these things. Here you can see in line number 9, here age is equal to int input of enter age. Here it is asking an integer value of age. Okay, here in the 10th line I have given a condition called if age is less than 18, it is going to, if whatever the age you are entering, if I have entered the age called 16, so it is going to rise, what it is going to rise, whatever the line I am having in line number 11, rise too young exception, whatever the value I have written in too young exception, please wait some more time, you will get best match soon. Okay, or else if you come to the line number 12, if age is greater than 60, then you are going to get a message called your age is already crossed marriages, no chance for getting marriage. Next, if you have entered the age based on your age, it is going to print either if block or else block. Here you have entered 16, so based on the condition of your age should be less than 16, means it is you have to get a message called your it is a less years to get marriage. It is the same message you got. You have entered the age called 65, what message you should get, you are too old, you cannot get a matches, same message I have got. If you enter the age called 27, you will going to get marriage details very soon by email. So these are the complete concept regarding exceptions.